It's all happening. We're recording. I did something I never thought I'd ever do. I watched a boxing match. Not just one. I watched four.
Sure.
And for a while, I thought I enjoyed boxing until I saw the final fight.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
Which was the fight that I
Yeah.
tuned in to watch, but was just sad. And that was Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. It was depressing.
I keep because it was a man fighting an old man twice his age who could barely land a punch. Is that why you were depressed? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I mean, he is. He's a former champion and a eater of ears.
Yes, but like he's 58 years old and Jake Paul's
That's really starting
27
to show
and
now.
in his prime, and it was just depressing. Like it's just an old man trying to stand in a ring. So,
Yeah.
but the fights before were actually quite interesting.
So
I
you
got a
basically
shock.
tuned in. You popped on ESPN or whatever and just watched some boxing before
It
the
was
main event.
on Netflix. Just the entire thing, start to finish. And yeah, no, I threw it on. I went okay, and then didn't realize it wasn't going to be. There was fights before it. And I just left it on, and I watched it, and it was fun.
I find that I don't like the heavyweights because I don't like just huge guys slowly wailing on each other. The featherweights and the guys who can really do moves, it's almost more like martial arts, and I prefer that.
But I do prefer this over like WFC or whatever it is, because let's wrestle on the ground.
It became that, didn't it? When
Very
the
quickly.
UFC first started, I was so psyched because it was billed to me as we pit fighters of different disciplines against each other to show which discipline is the best. And I was like, what a fucking great idea. But the problem was, like, no matter how good you are at Kung Fu, a massive dude good at boxing is just going to knock your fucking lights out.
Yes, because it's very different things. And but yeah, no. But the thing that really annoys me about this is that was a professional fight. So Jake Paul gets.
So
I
I didn't realize that. So when you told me it was on, I thought, I do want to have a look at this, and I popped it on. I saw the last 3 minutes of what I think was a 16-minute
Yes.
match, right? All
Yep.
total. So, and I didn't see anyone land a punch in that.
No,
in that
they
time.
were just. He was just.
A lot
Mike
of
Tyson
leaning
was even
and-
just struggling to stand, I think. But yeah, Jake Paul gets to count that as a professional win.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
kind of hoping that Jake Paul would just be knocked out.
I
Because
think a lot
I
of
don't
people
like
tuned
the
in.
Pauls.
I don't like any of the Pauls, if I'm being honest. But then again, I mean, we were never the target audience for the Pauls. We were already a bit too old by the time they came on the scene.
Yeah, but even like if at the start of the match when Jake Paul comes out, everyone's booing him as well. Like no one's a fan of the Pauls.
Oh, see, I wish I'd seen from the start now. That would have been funny.
Well, it's even funny. Like at
I
the
mean,
start of
is
the
he a
fact-
decent boxer? I mean, I didn't even know he was a
Well,
boxer, to be completely
here's the
honest.
thing. I think he's won like nearly every single one of his fights up until now. They're all been
Okay.
by knockout, but it's very strategic in who he's fighting. He's not fighting
Right.
the best. He's fighting like an ex-UFC fighters, like people who aren't boxers. And now it's just
Okay.
Mike Tyson, who it's a great name to beat, but you're not beating
Yeah.
Mike Tyson 20 years ago.
That's a no-lose situation, though, I reckon, because if you fought Mike Tyson and lost, you could just say, I fucking fought Mike Tyson. Did you win? No, of course not. It was Mike fucking Tyson, right? But if you win, you can just say, I fucking beat Mike Tyson, except that you beat him when he was more than twice
see,
your age.
I don't think it was a win. I think it was a lose-lose for him, but I don't think he cares because he loves people talking about it. But if he
Yeah.
lost, he loses to Mike Tyson, a 60-year-old man. If he wins, he beat up a 60-year-old man. Like,
True, yeah. It's all optics, isn't it? But I mean, it's not like he needs the money. They've got a lot of money, that family.
Yes.
Those guys are fucking rolling in cash. So,
Yes.
but I
I
guess
don't know what
there's no
they
such thing as
do.
too much money. No, I don't know what they do either.
but yeah, like
I mean, it
I
used to
don't-
be pranks and stuff back the last time I paid
But
any
even
attention
not
to them.
funny, Frank. Just
No,
but,
it was never funny.
But even at the start of the boxing match, like they announced, like Jake Paul comes out, it's Jake and Logan Paul's in the car with him. And they drive out in his fancy car and stuff, and then they announce Mike Tyson, he just walks out.
Right? Yeah, he's like, I'm at work, mate. This is what I do for work. That's quite funny.
But yeah, I thought I was nearly, for a second, I thought I was going to get into boxing until the end.
I do that from time to time too. I remember I got quite into it in the lead up of, God, it's probably 10 years ago now, but when Manny Pacquiao was going to fight Floyd Mayweather, I was like, okay, I'm interested. Like the hype kind of got to me, and it was kind of the fun too of having to find a pub that was going to screen it, on that day, so I could watch it, and there was something fun about it. And then I kind of watched it, and I was like,
One of the fights leading up was it went for 12 rounds. It ended up being a draw, but I actually found myself rooting for someone. Like it was It was actually quite interesting.
Who either of the fighters were in that? No,
cannot remember anymore. And then
I just remember.
But yeah, that's it. I'm done with boxing now. Nearly, because when it was leading up to, I was actually messaging you guys when I think I like boxing now.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a sport you can get hyped into for sure. And I always think boxing's one of those sports that's like a gentleman's sport. You know, the bowler hat wearing mustachioed men used to go and watch boxing. So it's one of those sports that I always think it fits into my milieu of like gentleman's sports that I don't mind watching. But you know what, the only thing I've really enjoyed about, but what was that launch title for the original Xbox? No, it wasn't original Xbox. It was Xbox 360. There was a great boxing game. Is that what it was?
The best fight. That's still the best boxing game there's ever been. Like Fight Night 4 came along and was terrible. Anything else that's come along, I don't know why they can't capture Fight Night 3 ever again.
Yeah, that was very fun. That was extremely fun.
There was a boxing game that just came out recently. I played it, and it's not that fun. I don't know. I don't know if they've gone too real with it. I thought Fight Night 3 was the right mix between arcade and not real.
Yes, yeah.
But then there was a Rocky one that came out a couple of years ago, which was very arcadey. The one that came out recently just feels a bit too real.
I'd play a Rocky game. I mean, anytime I think I could be into boxing, really, I'm just into Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are good movies.
Or Creed movies, which are also good because they're basically
watch the
just
Creed
Rocky
movies.
I watched the first one, and it was excellent. It was really good.
I've heard good things about it. I heard that sort of people saying, like, Sylvester Stallone should have got, like, an Oscar for, like, best supporting in these movies. Like, that was...
Yeah.
Where it was up. But he's never going to get one because he's Rocky.
He tried... Well, he got an Oscar for...
Did he get an Oscar?
The first Rocky. Well, he got a nom.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever won.
Maybe he won it for screenplay. You know what? We can search this. We can
find it out. Has Stallone won an Oscar? Oh no, I'm wrong. So he's best supporting in 2016.
Oh, okay. So he did get it.
Maybe he did get it.
Huh. Okay. Well, he deserved it. He was excellent.
Yeah. Oh well, disregard anything I've said. 2016.
Did I tell you I watched the porno that he was in before he was famous?
Oh,
I didn't watch it before he was famous.
The one that they renamed the Italian Stallion after Rocky came out.
Yeah.
Is he any good?
It's one of the most boring movies I've ever. He's all right in it, to be honest. I mean, it's 70s porn, so it's not like porn today.
Because it's weird. Because 70s porn, it's actually a movie.
Yeah, it's just a film.
Story
shot on film. There's a storyline. I mean, it's not a great storyline.
No,
but evidently he had like hocked his dog or something, and then somebody offered him $200 to be in this movie. And he's like, "I'll do it," and then just went and used the money to get his dog back. Filmed it in a weekend. Basically, the premise is he's just a swinger, and he has this big house, and he invites all these women to his house, and he roots some of them root each other, and that's the film.
So does he have sex?
It's not even
film?
Yeah, he does, but it's not particularly explicit.
Okay, it's more softcore.
It's just Very much softcore. Yeah,
Okay.
just lots of butts, basically.
No one wants to see that.
Well, I don't think anyone wanted to see it at the time either until they re-released
They
it
renamed it
with,
and went...
with an A-lister's name in it. Yeah.
So we let people know Matt's not here if they haven't worked that out yet.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's been a twofer for the last couple of months. Really, it's just any two of three possible hosts at this point. We've had every combination.
Well, I've only missed 1 week out of it. I'm doing well.
So, how are you feeling? You feeling recharged?
No, I'm still at that stage where the pain's coming back, and I don't know what level it's going to stop at. So it's always the annoying part of it.
The anticipation of pain is in some ways worse than pain.
Because it's not like I come out of hospital and I'm great. It's no, I come out of hospital and the second I'm off the ketamine, the pain instantly is ramping back up.
Yeah.
Well,
you need Matthew Perry's doctors. That's who you need. They'll just come to your house, mate.
Yeah, definitely, you can get it in tablets. Just give me that. I can be trusted.
Yeah. And what are you drinking tonight? Something delicious?
I'm drinking Nam Nam Lager.
Oh, okay.
Nam
you got
Alley.
right into your,
I love it.
your Vietnamese. Yeah.
I get a case of these for $45. It comes with 16 cans, they're 500ml.
Yep. And like, scoff all you want, but there's one thing that came out of colonialization in the the age of exploration is that Southeast Asia, where there were these German, Dutch, all of these colonies, they set up breweries and they to this day make really good beers.
Yeah, I just love all beer from Asia. It seems.
Yep.
Like I hate.
They don't
most
try to do
Australian
anything
beers.
snooty with it.
No.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, they're not trying to be clever. They're just trying to use the old recipes.
In Vietnam, like moving down the country, like all the beers, they weren't the same. They all had their local beers. They all tasted different, but they were all nice.
Yeah.
Whereas it's here, we all going to make stuff fancy and pale ales and IPAs and just simple lager.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
you need.
That's right. And Matt's not here to defend them, so we could just fly the flag for the simpler lager, the better.
I don't get fancy beer.
No,
it doesn't taste nice. They're all different, and you never know what you're getting.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I used to think I only sometimes liked beer, and it turns out, no, I always like beer. I just need to know what it is that I'm about to have.
And some of them now you get them, they're so sweet and
Mind you, I did have a peach gin and tonic the other day, which was quite nice.
Okay, well you can mix it up with gin. I'm fine with that. That needs
Well, I mean, normally I would just drink. I mean, not straight gin. I still have tonic, but like regular gin.
Yeah.
Although a listener did put me on to hot cross bun flavored gin. Have you had this?
No.
I guess it's just cinnamon, but I'm
guessing it's an Easter gin.
Yeah, it's an Easter gin, but it was quite delicious.
All right, I might try some at Easter then.
Yeah, put that on your Easter list. Speaking of Christian holidays, what is it today? Saturday, 16th of November. My tree is up now.
Why? It's not December yet.
Insisted. I know. It's up.
No, you got to put your foot down. It's not till December. Like
Christmas. I don't get a say at my house anymore.
At work,
I'm outnumbered.
People start going. They announced it's going to be like a team desk decorating thing. My team went, "Can we go in?" I've gone, "Yes, but you're not doing anything until the 1st of December." You're taking it down before you all leave for the year because I'm sick of coming back to work and me being the one to take it all down. And you guys never come back. I don't want to take part in it.
We didn't even put up ours this early last year, but it was still quite early, and we were so over it that we took our Christmas tree down on Christmas Day at about 11 o'clock. Like after the presents were like, right,
we're
take
over
this shit down. Yeah, we're so over it.
No, what tends to happen at work is people go out and they'll go all out, and then they don't come back for the first couple of weeks, and I'm always back in the office straight away, and I'm just, no, shit's coming down.
Yeah.
Because no one ever wants to take
I know
stuff
at least
down.
3 people who put their decorations up the day after Halloween.
That's really too early.
No.
Why? Because it's the same thing. Like as soon as Christmas is over, like the first week in January, you'll see Easter eggs starting to appear.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that's a relatively new thing too. It used to be that, a couple of weeks before, and when shops started doing it super early, everyone criticised. They're like, I don't know about this. Christmas
Yeah,
decorations
but
up in
here's the thing:
November.
people always criticize, but it works because they keep doing it because
It
it means
must.
people are buying.
Yeah,
Same thing with
exactly.
people go, I don't know why scammers do their thing because they make money. It
Oh
works.
yeah. And honestly, every time my mother-in-law gets a text or something, I've forced her to call me before she replies to anything now because her instinct is just to reply. She's like, "No, it's my bank. I've got to text back," and I'm like, "You don't. Your bank doesn't have a Gmail, okay?"
Your bank will never message you like that and say, we're going to shut you off if we don't do this. That's not how banks work.
That's right. No, exactly.
Especially when they're saying they're from a different bank.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of gambles there, but then again, there's that. There was that old Twilight Zone episode where the guy gets a telephone call and the guy goes, "Don't hang up. I'm a a psychic, and I'm going to give you this week's lottery numbers. I'm not asking for anything. Just buy the lottery in this numbers." And he does. He uses the numbers and he wins. And then the next week the guy just does it again and he wins again. And then a few down the track he's like, okay, now it's time for you to do something for me. Now, you split the winnings for the next one with me. And it turns out that it's just a fluke, but he's done this to thousands of people. And it's just so happened that this one guy won every time. Like every leaf on the tree was just a success, whereas the thousands of others that weren't. So I reckon there's something in the scams where it must just eventually
I just
pay
get annoyed
off
when they don't talk to me anymore.
when you engage them.
Yes, I try and engage them as much as I can, but a lot of them just hang up on me now straight away.
Yeah.
Because they go we've got a thing where you've purchased a iPhone on this. Oh, that's nice. So where is that going to? Oh, somewhere it's over here. Oh, okay. I may have done that, and just try and annoy them and drag it on. So what else has been happening?
My friend tried to scam one back once to see if that would work because he was like, "Oh, I need this amount of money, and then I can turn it into this amount of money." And he was like, "Nah, I've got a better idea. You give me that amount of money, and I'll turn it into this amount of money." And he's like, "Whoa, no."
That'd never work. That's crazy.
Yeah. We do have a couple of follow-up articles this week that I thought was interesting. Just going from the top, we did talk about Raygun.
The Australian hip hop dancer.
Yeah, the best breakdancer Australia has, according to
there's different
breakdancing championships and also the Olympics.
Stories I hear. Sometimes I hear like she was on the committee that picked. I've heard that story, and I'm what?
Look, I'm not a breakdancing aficionado by any means. When someone's doing it and it looks good, I'll go, "Oh, that looks like breakdancing." And when they're doing something that doesn't look like it, I'll go, "Oh, that doesn't look like breakdancing, but it might be. What the fuck do I know?" And that was kind of my response when she was in the Olympics. I did watch it.
I didn't, and I'm happy that it's never going back to the Olympics because that's a type of sport that I don't think should be at the Olympics.
Yeah, so not only is it not in the Olympics, it's not in the Olympics forever, but it's definitely not in the next one. They've announced that already.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be back because it's...
Just because something's athletic doesn't mean it's a sport. And I know that's a controversial stance, but...
it's one of those things that's up for interpretation as to what people think.
Yeah.
So there's no... Some people might go, that's amazing. Other people go, no, that's crap, and this one's better. But it's just up to what people feel on the day. There's no...
You can say that about a lot of the...
Well, that's like gymnastics. Get rid of that. Like, I just want who can run faster, jump higher. That's all we need. Swim fastest. Like, the ones that we know, they actually did something better than other people. Not up for interpretation.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why I don't understand when people get uppity about medal counts and which country ones. And it's like, no. Who cares? I just want to see who's the best in the world.
Yes.
Like, who's the fastest runner in the entire fucking world? That guy. Wow.
Yep.
Like, that's interesting. I don't care if he's from Australia or not. Like, I don't care if he's got a medal for us. Okay,
Here's
awesome.
the
That
other
guy's
thing
the
I
fastest.
also don't quite understand about the Olympics. And then I bring it back to boxing. Like, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul couldn't enter the Olympics in boxing because they're professional boxers. And you can't be a professional boxer and go into the Olympics. So how does that work?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that when I first heard that, and I still don't quite know either. Because and people will turn down opportunities because they want to keep their amateur status so that they can enter the Olympics.
But it's sort of like, but isn't it meant to be the best of the best? So wouldn't a professional person be?
Yeah. But then I guess, I don't know, maybe would that just be the same? Why do they care? Why do they care if it's the same people on TV all the time? Like,
but it's every 4 years. It's not like you have the same people doing it for like you might be like people might have like good 2 Olympics, maybe 3. It's very rare you see go and win for 4 Olympics in a row or anything.
And it's not like if you're the best golfer on the PGA Tour or whatever, okay, great, we know you're the best. But like, are you better than this fucking Lithuanian guy who isn't in that league? Like, you know. Yeah.
But also, I
that.
don't
Somebody
watch the Olympics.
Probably knows. I never used to. I've started watching it. I mean, most of it's very boring, but I feel there's something interesting about this Olympics was quite interesting. There was a lot of stuff. There was, like that too cool for school shooter, and the pole vaulter that would have won, except that his dick was too big.
That's well, no, I think he still won. I just think he didn't break the world record.
Oh, right.
So, that's a like.
It's still a win. It's
still a win.
Yeah.
He did very well in the Olympic Village after that.
Mate, they all do apparently. Have you heard the stories about this?
Yeah. Like that's just you've got.
Fucking hell.
You've got these super athletic, beautiful people all in the same area. They've been training, so they haven't been partying or anything up until this point. The second that their event's over, I can drink now and screw.
Yeah. There's, I was reading stories after this one. There's one particular, I can't remember, I think she's a swimmer or something. She's beautiful, but she was like, she didn't win the swimming. She fucked literally every male athlete in there, that she worked her way down the list of anyone she wanted to, and now she's an OnlyFans model.
And you're subscribing.
No, I was too busy looking at feet of, what's her name? Lily Allen. Lily Allen? Was it Lily Allen's feet that we talked about?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to people's feet. You just don't.
No, neither. I do have some bad news for you. I did some bad news in the lead up to the presidential election. The result of which not being the bad news. That's neither here nor there. We're in Australia. Hopefully it won't affect us in any way. But Chloe Moretz, who I know I know you're a fan of hers. She came out and she said that she was voting for Kamala because she will represent LGBT people like her. So, sorry, Luke, but that's not going to work out. You got the wrong genitals, mate.
Because apart from that, I was in with a chance.
Well, as far as we knew. You at least had the right junk. So, now you don't.
What's she up to lately? I haven't seen her in anything in a long time.
I think she literally owns her own production company now and is a producer on things.
Sort of went more
and then just occasionally
behind the camera instead of front of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's sort of
evidently she's actually quite a savvy businesswoman in the film industry and is quite respected. I mean, to me, she's just
hit girl.
Hit girl. Yeah, exactly. She was also in that movie that Louis C.K. made just before he got cancelled about how deep down he's actually just a bit of a pervert.
Oh, that wouldn't have aged well.
It didn't even get released. They pulled it.
I can see why. Is it any good?
No, it didn't even get... I can see what he was doing. He was basically doing modern day Woody Allen, where you kind of make fun of how, you can't quite get what you want,
Yeah.
like, and there was some cringe. So she plays his daughter. Chloe Moretz plays his daughter. But he likes young girls, and there's this bit where he tries to kiss his daughter's friend, and it's really awkward. And I think it was trying to be like, at best you would have called it brave. Oh, it's brave. It's very brave, that he admitted that he's, a bit of a pervert.
I don't think that's a brave thing anymore.
But it certainly wasn't when the same cycle that his actual. Did you hear Sarah Silverman talking about that recently?
No.
So she was on one of the talk shows, I can't remember what it was, and somebody brought up Louis C.K. and she's like, I can't go anywhere without getting asked about Louis C.K. now, since his thing, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, look, I'm just going to say this. I've been friends with Louis C.K. since I was like fucking 15 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have seen him masturbate. Yes, he asked me to. Yes, he used to ask me to all the time. When I didn't want him to, I just said no. And when I could take it or leave it, I was like, sure, go ahead.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. She said the first time he asked her, she was like, okay, I've actually never seen a guy masturbate before. Do it.
Off you go.
Off you go. Like, yeah, and she enjoyed it. And then he would just keep asking her to do it. And sometimes she said no, and he was like, okay, do you want to get a pizza instead? Like,
such a weird thing.
I know. But, yeah, I know.
I do want to just jump sort of straight to this, because we're sort of on the track with the OnlyFans and that, with the North Korean soldiers.
Have you seen this?
No.
Russia imported a whole bunch of North Korean soldiers to help them fight Ukraine, right?
Mm.
And it's the first time any of them have seen porn, because you can't.
I can
get
sort
porn
of believe
in North
that, because
Korea.
their internet there is so
and
locked
they're
down.
fucking obsessed. And of all the countries to be in too, Russia.
We know just if we know gay porn.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, except if it's for women.
Yes.
Yes.
But I don't think they classify that as gay.
No.
That doesn't count
that's
as
fine.
gay.
It's only two beddies.
That's not. Yeah, that's right. But evidently, they're not getting a lot of fighting done. They're just obsessively watching.
They're not stuck behind the firewall. They've got their internet on their phones. Away they go.
Yeah, and they do not want to go back to North Korea.
I'd love to go to North Korea.
Yeah, so would I.
To visit.
Actually. Yeah, to be clear, yeah.
Yeah. But I'd also be quite worried that I'd just accidentally do something wrong.
Oh, right. So I read this book by this South Korean filmmaker who got kidnapped by, it was the, like, two dictators ago, so the granddad of whoever it is now. And he basically said, you're my favourite film director, so you make films for me now. And kept him for like 30 years.
Oh, God.
And just forced him to make films. And gave him a beautiful house and gave him a wife and, just whatever you want. Like,
you get everything you want, but you're not allowed to leave.
But you cannot leave. Yeah. And literally, like, kidnapped in the night. Like,
yeah.
You had a family already. Right? They're gone now. They're not your family.
Don't worry about that family. Because why would you not maybe bring the family with him at least?
Yeah, so at least he had an incentive to stay, right?
Yeah.
He eventually, do you want to know how he eventually escaped? He eventually escaped by making a film so good it got into, I think, Venice Film Festival or something, and they let him go to it.
And he was not going home.
Well, he was in a hotel, and there was a huge amount of security that went with him too. But he somehow got somebody a message and said, "I'm literally a prisoner. Please unkidnap me." Yeah.
Oh no! I'm just watching all the things pop up on the. I'm just got the video playing in the background, just watching. No, I think it's good for them. Experience the world,
healthy. Yeah.
See what else is out there. Maybe not go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go there, but then you hear the stories like someone who just like did something silly, like they took a thing from the hotel room, and then
Yeah.
when they were sent home, he had brain damage.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No,
Because you can go. A friend of mine went.
you can
on a
go.
tour.
It's actually quite easy to go.
Yeah.
You're not wandering around
friend-
by yourself or anything. It's
Yeah, no. You're with a
tour
group.
and-
And evidently you're encouraged to bring either money or booze and cigarettes and stuff to offer bribes to various people who you encounter along the way.
okay.
But that's not necessarily even all that uncommon in certain second and third world countries anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like certain people expect bribes. You know, I've even, like, when I was shooting in Manila, we used to just, because all communities are gated communities in Manila, and they've all got security guards. They don't like you coming and going. But if you arrive with breakfast for them and say, hey, guy, I've got you some Macca's breakfast, might be popping in and out today. And they'd be like, yeah, no worries, I'll remember you. You know, it is a bribe, but it's also just being nice.
It's not. I wouldn't call it a bribe. It's called being nice. Like it's just, hey, I picked it up for you while I was getting my breakfast. Do you want this?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
different.
But
It's not
they
my
appreciate the gesture, and then they look the other way when you're doing stuff they would normally get heavy on there for.
Still remember when I was in Vietnam and I went to Ho Chi Minh, his mausoleum, and I was drinking beer the entire time there. So I'm walking up to go past security for the mausoleum. I just finished my beer. So I'm thinking, that's fine. Like, it's because walking around the streets drinking beer, and I'll just throw it in the bin when I get there. Yeah, I got in trouble with the security guard, like, big time. And I could explain to him that no, it's empty. Like, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just putting this in the bin. And I nearly got arrested.
It's not like I brought beer. I've got to be drunk when I look at Ho Chi Minh. Is his tomb... I've been to Saigon, but I didn't go to see the tomb. But is his tomb... I did go to see Lenin's tomb. Or was it Stalin's tomb? Stalin's tomb in Moscow. But evidently, like, you can still see the body. Was Ho Chi Minh's one where you can actually literally see the body?
You can, but only when they open it at certain times. Like, it's not... You can't just go there any day and it's there. Because they will open it up for
when I went to Stalin's grave, they said, oh, it's shut today. And I was like, well, how fucking convenient. You just say that every day. Because evidently he still looks, you know, fresh.
Yeah. But no, it's one of those things that they open it up for special events or something, but it's not a... I don't know, special celebrations? I don't know.
While we're talking about fallen dictators, I was going to leave this to the after party. But, oh, hello. You want to say hello?
Special guest?
Yeah, we do. Do you want to say hello to Luke?
Hello.
Say hello, Luke.
Hello, Luke.
Hello, Harper. Wow.
Hi, listeners. Say hi, listeners.
Hi, listeners.
Having a chat with Uncle Luke.
Why?
Oh, because we're recording a podcast.
And people love you
Luke's
being
in
on
a
the
spaceship,
podcast.
see? Yeah, special guest. See, pop up so we can see your face.
She's just looking at herself, isn't she?
What? Why isn't he a spaceship? Because Luke's a spaceship kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. It's an
He's got a
X-Wing.
spaceship on his t-shirt as well.
Mm-hmm. The old
A different one.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter game.
Oh, X-Wings within X-Wings.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bob. I'll come out after, okay?
No.
Oh!
No.
Okay, you
No.
You have a cupcake?
You want a cupcake?
You want a special cupcake?
I mean, she can sit right there if she's going to be quiet. But I'm sure she'd have more fun out with you and having a cupcake.
Have a cupcake. What?
No.
Oh.
No.
Listeners, I usually try to tie up our recording with nap time, but she doesn't nap anymore. So
no
it's,
naps anymore. She's past that age.
yeah,
Next she'll be
that's right.
dating.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, that's a great.
Anyway, so it's probably good that she's not here for this. But I was going to leave this to the after party. But since we're talking about fallen dictators, it's a good segue to bring it up now. Did you see this? This started up being like a pro/anti-Trump thread, right? But did you see that the Navy SEAL that killed Osama bin Laden, right, is in the spotlight at the moment for telling a group of young boys that he wants to make them his sex slaves?
Yes, and I'm a bit concerned. Was he just trying to be smart and not knowing what he was like? This
Well,
word, not knowing what it means.
So there's
or
a
was-
whole thread here. Yeah, so how old are these boys? Is one of them an influencer? I couldn't... This guy's called Harry Sisson, and he's got the little
they're
blue tick
18.
next to his name.
They're 18. 'cause
Yeah,
they're
so they look
voting.
about... Yeah, okay, so they look like late high school, maybe...
They look like
first,
children.
you know. Yeah, but they're very young boys.
Yeah.
Twinks, I think you'd call them. They're, a bunch of pretty young boys, and they're all in that one car, and they're all smiling at the camera and saying, we just voted.
Yep.
And then this guy, whose name is Robert O'Neill, who is literally the Navy SEAL who shot and killed Osama bin Laden when they raided his compound, he retweeted the photo and said, "You're not men, you're boys. If there was no social media, you'd all be my concubines."
Right.
And everyone was like, "What?" And even so, all the boys in this started replying, going, "Sorry, do you want to fuck me?" and then just the next day, he reposted this. The guy reposted it the next day with saying, "For all the communists who missed this," and he reposted it.
And it was all
And
like
so-
everyone's sort of like pointing out, like, "Oh, you come out of the closet now." Like, this is not.
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
wrong with you.
And then the guy who's in it was like, when he reposted it, he's like, I just to be clear, you've said that you want 5 young boys to be your sex slave, like, or do you just not know what that means?"
Leads.
And he did eventually address that and say, "I know exactly what it means." I'm trying to find that.
Where is it?
Something about... God, there's just so many comments by people saying, "Do you know you're gay?" But he eventually said... Because somebody said exactly what you suggested. Maybe you just don't know what the word concubine means. And he
yeah.
wrote back, "I know what it means. There's only 2 things that boys like you are good for, being eaten or being fucked," or something like that. And
But it just sort of shows, like, because these kids voted the way that he doesn't like,
yeah,
he thinks that people should just be able to take them as slaves and have sex with him instead of just going.
yeah. I was watching. I was listening to some podcast the other day, and it's kind of people our age or slightly even older than us talking, and they were like talking about how people with different political affiliations don't date each other anymore. And I think it was Todd Galloway was saying, he was like, "I couldn't even tell you who my first 2 wives voted for in any election. Like, I just don't know. We had never discussed it. Like, it just wasn't a thing you talked about. You talked about other things with your wife. Like, now people are like, oh, you're either this or that. Like, it's gotten so extreme now."
I saw on Reddit. I saw so a wife. A guy was talking. I think it was husband and wife, but she got, like, she served me with divorce papers when she found out I voted for Trump. So
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Like-
I saw that too. I chose not to read the article because I knew it was just going to be annoying.
But I just sort of, it's just because they voted for someone you don't like, that means they're what?
Yeah, and actually, it's funny because, I mean, I get... Like, my wife and I have voted differently in elections, and neither of us give a shit. And I'll be like, "Oh, you voted for them, you're so naive." And she's like, "You're the naive one." And that's the end of the
That's it.
conversation, right? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But
No.
I dare say if I voted for Trump and I came home and just went, "Yeah, I voted for Trump," she'd be like, "You better fucking explain yourself. Like, you better have a good fucking reason why
But
you
I do
voted for
think
that
it
psychopath."
is more of an American thing, that whole you don't date people, because, like, when Matt went there, he had to become a citizen. He had to say who he supports.
That's right. Yeah.
Like it was he had to check out like who are you going to vote for when, because it's different voting that comes up, which is a weird thing to do. It's
Yes, because you also have to register your vote as well, and I don't know whether you have to stick to it or what, because they're
well, if you have
our
to stick
system's
to it, then
weird
it doesn't
too, but
mean
their system
anything.
is very
but,
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, but does it mean anything anyway? Electoral college? I don't know. Like, isn't that all predetermined by the time it even gets to? I don't know. I don't know.
I just
and
think
every
it's
time somebody
weird.
tries to explain it to me, I understand even less.
no, I've just given up. That makes no sense. You can get the most votes but lose.
Yes, but evidently it didn't matter for Trump this time because he won the
just
popular
won
vote
both.
and the electoral college vote, and he has the Senate and he has the Supreme Court, and he can just do what he wants.
Yeah. So,
Have you heard he's making jokes now about never stepping down?
are they jokes?
Well, I mean, a certain Vladimir Putin was in the same situation many, many years ago, an elected president.
Because yeah, like who follows Trump from the other side?
I've been seeing some awful stuff online, not about Trump, but about Trump supporters. And I think Donald Trump's probably not nice. I probably wouldn't get along with him. You know, I wouldn't buy him a beer in a pub, put it that way.
No,
But I think I'd get along with his supporters even less.
even less.
Like-
No, the ones you see some of the pictures of them out there and or what they talk, how they talk on Twitter and stuff. Like, how can you think this
The
is okay?
shit they're putting on Twitter now is, and I think it's just, are you just, is it, I mean, America's a big place. There's a lot of people, right? But are so many of you just so angry all the time that Trump is giving you permission to just vent all your anger at certain, and I'm not even going to say minority groups, because Trump seems to just hate women as well, and his supporters just also seem to just all hate women. Fuck.
But it's sort of
If I was a
weird
woman in
because-
America right now, I'd feel pretty victimized.
But like when Trump lost and his supporters went crazy and Kamala lost, and they're going, well, that sucks, but that's
Yeah.
you're now the president, so we'll support you. And there's even the supporters of Harris, they're upset, but they're not going on our
Yeah.
president or anything. They're just, this is what it is.
Yeah.
We're in for a terrible
Yes,
time,
and
but they're not.
I remember when Biden became president and he was like, I don't want to just be president for people who voted Democrat. I want to be everyone's president, and I want to surprise you if you thought I wasn't going to be on your side. Like, I'm on everyone's side. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
that's, you,
yeah, it's trying to reduce the divide, whereas Trump is, no, we need to make it bigger. And everyone needs
I'll
to
say
come
this,
to my
though.
side.
yeah. The only thing that I'm quite happy about is that Trump seems very isolationist for America, and so I don't think he's going to try to rope Australia into doing anything.
Oh, no,
with him. Like, do you remember when Bush was made president and he was like, "We're going to fucking fight everyone and fucking Australia, Britain, you're all coming with us."
He's not going to war. He's not. He's got none of that intention. He wants to
a
close
waste
off
of money.
America.
Yeah, yeah.
He wants to impose tariffs on everything, and somehow that's going to save people money.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he understands what a tariff
Because everyone
is.
will be so annoyed that everything's gotten so expensive that they'll start just making stuff at home.
And
Is
there's
that
a
it? I don't
reason
know.
why everyone outsources it, because you don't have to pay people a living wage
Yeah.
if you outsource
No,
it.
exactly right. And there's a vicious cycle to that too, because I remember thinking when I was in Southeast Asia and everyone has live-in maids in their houses from worse off countries,
Yes.
right? Just filtering back in. That you pay nothing. You pay $700 a month to have a woman live in your house, cook all your meals, clean your house while you're at work, clear the plates away. And I've literally been at someone's house, and like after you finish your meal, like, you know, you just go to take your plate to the kitchen or whatever, and the guy's gone, no, leave it. That's why we have a maid. I was like, fucking hell, man.
And it's not
I
like
never did.
you have
I
a maid
couldn't do
because
it.
you're rich. It's the maid's
No.
getting paid nothing. So
Yeah, but anytime I start to get up on my high horse and start saying you should have minimum wage on your maids, they start saying, as soon as you do that, we don't have maids anymore because we can't afford it, and then their fucking families starve. So So I don't have an answer for it, you know. I just go around acting like a commie, and everyone points out why I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Put me in charge. I'll fix it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd come up with something.
Yeah. As I said, there'll be a lot of deaths at the start, but then things will get better.
Yeah.
Look, I reckon we get rid of
stay on the good
6.5 billion people.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it depends on the study you look at, but I do think the general consensus is there's just too many people.
Just need enough people to open Disneyland for me, and we'll be fine.
You're sounding more and more North Korean every day. Now I know why you want to live there.
I didn't say I want to live there. I'd like to visit.
Oh, we haven't been crossing stuff off the list. I'm going to have to go back and remember what we've been talking about and what we haven't been talking about.
Well, it's okay. We're doing well.
We mentioned Wicked, but we didn't talk about the actual
Wicked.
story.
Yes. I love this. So someone did not do their research when they were making the packages for the marketing dolls for the new Wicked movie.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand why you would think when you were told you have to put the URL to the website on every toy. You'd be like, yeah, of course. And I can understand why you would think it might be wicked.com.
Wicked.com. But yeah, wicked.com. No, that's not anything to do with the movie. But there is one good thing. It wasn't too bad because I did go and have a look at the website.
Yeah, okay.
And while it
Research.
is adult, I've got it bookmarked. While it is an adult website, it is not like hardcore in your face right away.
Yeah.
It's
right.
It's still not appropriate for children. They should not click any further. But the first page isn't super graphic.
Got it. It's not just a fleshlight being penetrated and
there's no penetration. But I didn't click any further.
Yeah, no, I'm sure if you delved, there'd definitely be things you didn't want kids to see.
Yes.
I was quite keen on having a look at this movie. You've seen the play.
I love the play,
once, so you obviously liked it, yeah. And I believe this is just essentially the play filmed. You know, the songs are the same and everything. So I was going to rope you into seeing it when you were down here, but it just didn't quite work out.
No, because
Hui went to the premiere, of course, and so I didn't get to see it.
She gets to go see all the movies first, and you don't get to see anything.
Yeah. She saw it with the cast. Something I asked her about, something about, I think it was Gladiator 2, and she was like, "Oh, I've seen a rough cut."
You know how it is.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, someone's getting fired over this.
Yeah, because this is bad. This is bad. This is like, sorry, we accidentally showed porn to children.
Yes,
it's not good. This is not good at all.
No.
And usually when you say someone's getting fired, you're using hyperbole. No one's actually going to get fired. But somebody might very well get fired over this.
Yeah, no. There might be a few people,
and I guarantee you, everyone's saying, "Not me. No, I wasn't the one that said that was the."
Yeah.
I said that was placeholder text.
But there would have been a lot of people there who went, "You signed off on this. Like that's how it works." Someone went, "This is okay to ship."
Yeah. Yes. As a designer, though, deciding where the blame would actually come from would be tricky because the amount of times I get told, I've put placeholder text on. I've had Lauren Mipsum go print to print, and have thought, and then people go, why isn't the text on here? And I'm like, no one sent me the text, and no one told me this was no one gave me the right text, and I didn't call this, blah 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 for print. Like at some point, somebody was trying to cut corners or rush or whatever, and took the wrong version. Yeah, blame me all you want, but I'm not the guy responsible for.
But then also,
checking
someone would have. Yeah, someone. It's not the designer. They would have thrown it together, and they would have been going off what they were should be going off what they were given. Like, here's the website you put there, and
Mate, I copy and paste any text. I don't even retype because I'm like, if I make a mistake, that's your mistake. I'm not making my own mistakes on this.
is it? I was gonna say, is it like wickedmovie.com?
A wicked
maybe?
movie, evidently. Yeah.
Yeah, Wicked movie. But yeah, I think whoever thought Wicked, like, that's, you really think they got the website for Wicked?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 2024, no one had used that one very common word.
Yes.
Yeah. It does look dumb when you have to have a movie. I mean, it is. I always think that when it's almost like having a Gmail account for your professional account. If you have to have something
Movie.
dumb written in your URL,
Well, but you
know?
just do these days because everything's
But you
been
just do.
taken.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if people want to use multiple nerdgasm, can't. We've got it.
Yes, we didn't have it for a while though, or did we?
No, I
No,
think
that's
we
why
always-
we went with multiple nerdgasm. It's because we originally just wanted nerdgasm and it was taken.
No, I think nerdgasm's for sale now, isn't it? Well, we have it now,
yeah, maybe.
baby. I don't know
that's
how
right.
it
I can't-
works. Matt handles this, and he's not here. I just talk. Stuff happens around me.
I'm marking off what we've already chatted about, and there's just nothing that's going to be as exciting as the guy who shot Bin Laden wanting to fuck young boys. I mean, I can tell you what
doubling
movies and
down
games
on
I've
it.
been playing, but I know, yeah. And then the next, he tripled down on it because the next day he reposted his own thing, saying for the
Yes, I
communists
know
who
what
missed
this
it.
means.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's not the big flex you think it is to say you want to have sex with young boys.
Unless, like, I mean, I'm no Navy SEAL, right? Maybe it's like the rules are different. Like when you go to prison and it's like, it's not gay, it just means you're tougher than him if you're fucking him instead of him fucking you. I always thought it still sounded a bit gay.
Yes.
What do I know?
That's why I'm playing not to go to jail, because
That's
I know
literally
which
the
side I'm
reason
going to be on.
I don't want to be in jail. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, yeah. I watched this. I think it was a Netflix doco, and I can't remember what it was. And this wasn't the main focus of it, but there was just this dude in prison who, just on his first day, was like, anyone can fuck me, and ended up getting breast implants put on. He's not trans or anything. He was just like, look, I'll give you what you want. And he just gets free drugs. They give him presents and cigarettes and stuff, and he's everyone's favorite little bitch. But he's just like, I know where I stand. No one bashes me. Like,
I just say yes.
like these decisions are why you do not want to be in prison.
That's one of
When the
choices.
safest thing
That's
to
what-
do is to just go, fine, everyone fuck me. Because at least that way I don't get bashed.
Yes, because he's getting fucked no matter what.
Bashed and fucked. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. It's not like, oh, they bashed me instead of fucking me. No, you're still getting fucked.
Yes. You have Cult of Lamb on here. Does that mean you have played it?
I have played it. I didn't finish it, and I'm not.
Oh,
going
you
to.
no, you will never finish it. I will never
Yeah,
finish this
but
game.
I was. It's not for me. I mean, the combat is mildly enjoyable. Going around just fucking smashing everyone
Hack and slash
who's
and-
far weaker than you, and I guess the base building is slightly fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look,
It's
as I said,
fine.
like, I enjoyed it, but I don't get the huge booth and the people getting married there or anything.
Weddings.
I went, it's an okay game, but yeah,
Yeah, I like the design of it. I love the art. I like all of that.
I like
and I
the whole
understand
idea
if-
about it is about, well, like, you can sacrifice your followers to
Yeah.
keep the game going longer, and they age as well, so they will die. So you
Right,
got to
yeah,
keep
see,
getting
that's
new
cool.
ones in, and it's great. It's just it gets a very samey for me.
But it got very samey incredibly quickly.
Like I
Like,
kill,
oh, this is the game. This is the whole game.
like I know there are like 4 bosses, and then I guarantee you have to fight another one at the end. I killed 2,
Yeah.
and that's where I got to. Like, that's...
Yeah, I killed one boss, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, so I've done that whole branch,
Yeah.
and now I've got these guys, and my cult's going fine, I guess. I don't know if I'd set it to easy, but I mean, it wasn't a difficult game.
No, well, the whole idea about these games is you go in, you die, you respawn, that's
Yeah.
the whole idea. It's just,
Yeah.
you just keep getting stronger and stronger, and more you play.
Yeah. So it was fine. I'm glad I paid less than $20 for it.
Yeah.
If I'd paid more than that, I might be annoyed that
Yeah,
I paid for it.
that's a good $20 game.
Mm.
$20 is the right.
And I've got it
right
there
point.
if I ever want to go back to it. And actually, I played it for an afternoon and then was like, I probably won't play this again. And then the next day or a couple of days later, I was like, I want to play something just for 10 minutes. And I'm like, I could pop that back on for 10 minutes.
That's a good game for that quick 10, 20 minutes, half an hour when I've got time. You got it on the Switch, didn't you?
Yeah, I did get it on the Switch, yeah. Because I knew that if I had to boot the Xbox up, I would never play it. But if I could just pick up the Switch...
And as you might go back to it, like if you just got that spare 20 minutes,
It's
you want to play
possible.
something
It's
that's
possible.
very quick, easy to put up and put down.
I played something quite good this week, though. Did you ever play Firewatch?
That's
I'm not
a
new. This is
brilliant
from
game.
2016. It's really good, though, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I bought it on PC back in the day and never played it. Or I put it on and thought, this is beautiful. And I even had it as my background for a bit. And then just never went back to it. And then I noticed it was on Game Pass. And I was sick Monday, Tuesday. And I was like, I'll play something. And I didn't want to... And I saw it was on Game Pass. And I'm like, just play it. And certainly it's a game you can finish in 2 days. Because I played for a couple of hours one day, a couple of hours the next day.
One of the first like real big walking simulators that really took off. Because that's all it is. You don't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, no, walk around and the story happens around you. And you can't really change anything.
No.
You just
There's a few
you trigger things and...
There's a few dialogue options, but they don't really change the story. There's a few things you can do, like throwing their stereo into the river and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing. Yeah. But no, it's just a really lovely game.
Decide whether or not to steal their underwear. I did.
I know you did.
Of course. Yeah, I did.
There was never a question if you did or not.
No, you never know. You never know when that...
No, we know.
But I also thought I'd gotten the wrong ending. And I went online and everyone was like, the fuck? That was a bleak ending. I'm like, oh no, there's only one ending and that was it. Like, you don't get what you thought you probably will get.
No.
I'm trying not to give any spoilers for it. But
for a nearly 10-year-old game.
Yeah. But there's a voice on the other end of the line, and you think maybe you'll meet up with her, and no, she goes before you go.
Yep.
And she goes, you should go back to your wife.
Yes. But no, maybe it took you so long to play it because it was a really good game. Just got rave reviews at the time, and it's what, 2 hours to play. It's not like a long game either.
Yeah, and I did a fair bit of exploring. It would have taken me less if I'd focused and just done it. But
even taking
a little bit of
exploring, it's not. It's not like a 10-hour game or anything.
I got lost once or twice, which added to the time for sure. There's one point where I just couldn't find my way back to the right path and ended up just going in circles and getting a little bit frustrated. But if I'd been smarter about it, then it would have taken me quite.
Because there's not really a lot to explore in that game.
No, and you can't really do anything in your exploration because you've got to wait till the story tells you to. Yeah. To prompt you to do things. Yeah. The only thing exploration helps you is knowing how to get to places quickly when you're told to go to those places later.
Remember, there's the whole scientist subplot, and then there's the cultist. Is the cultist in it, or?
But it goes nowhere. That's the beauty of this game, is that all the stuff you think, because it's a mystery. It's basically, it was described to me as a cozy game. I was looking for a cozy game, and I got described to me as a cozy game. And I guess it is just because you've taken a job as a park ranger and you just kind of wander around being a park ranger. but then you discover all these kind of this slow burn mystery that ends up just really being in your head.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yeah, like there's nothing nefarious really happening. It's just
at one point you're breaking into a compound, and then you just realize, oh no, they're just tracking the deer in the park.
Yep. Nothing evil.
That's why I kept thinking, like, have I played this wrong? And I was like, no, that's the point.
That's the game. That's
the writers of this game have made you, So yeah, no, I liked it very, very much. It was very good.
Look, there's a game I do want to play soon, but I need to wait for it to be a sensible price. I need to be able to give time to it. That's Baldur's Gate 3. I really want to play it. But my God, that would be a lot of time.
Yeah. I feel I just don't have the time. Like, if it was 10 years ago, I would have played this already. You know, I would have gotten this at launch.
Because I still just love. Sometimes I'll be on Instagram and I'll see something and I'll see like a dice roll and it pop up and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like even the Pope's got enough time to play it.
Yeah. So 2 copies of Baldur's Gate 3 have been sold to Vatican City, and you might think, well, I mean, there's thousands of people. No, only 700 registered residents of Vatican City. Like, you have to be pretty much, you're the clergy if you live there. You know, someone's playing it. But it's probably not the Pope, but someone's playing it.
Well, I reckon the Pope's
into it.
Why not the Pope? He's got time.
Just play it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to work out how they knew, and I went, but no, because it's, you can see where the copies were sold.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And it's not like saying Australia. There's literally less than 1,000 people who live there.
So, they sold 2 copies.
Two copies to a country of 700 people is actually quite a good percentage of sales, I reckon.
Well, it's something that always throws me off every now and again when people go like, this game sold like 500,000 or a million or 5 million, that's good. Percentage of the world, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I've never quite understood those numbers sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
yeah.
Because like GTA 5 sales.
My favourite is when they try to say, like they do it with movies a lot too. They're like 40 million Australians saw fucking, whatever movie, and you're like, well, there's only 23 million people who live here. So I think what you mean is this many tickets were bought. But that doesn't mean that many Australians saw it.
Okay, so GTA 5 has sold over 200 million units worldwide. Now, that's not even an eighth of the world, and a lot of people would have brought this more than once.
Yeah. There's nearly 8 billion people.
Nearly 8 billion. So when they say GTA 5, that includes PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox, 360, Xbox One, like a confused PC, like it's all of them, and people have brought them. I've brought it twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Those numbers don't make sense to me sometimes. Like, yes, it's a lot. I'm not denying it's a lot, but compared to the number of people on the planet,
I just got my mind blown the other day when, and I hate to bring this back to Trump, but it was Trump who was saying it, but how he was saying, because he went on Joe Rogan, and people are like, why'd you go on Joe Rogan? He's like, because I could talk to 300 million people in one podcast. I would have had to have gone on all the network news and still not got that number. And it's like, really? Podcasts? I mean, not this podcast, obviously, but podcasts are the mainstream now.
Well, who watches the news?
Yeah, not me.
Like every now and again, I'll catch YouTube or something and take me to like Fox News or something, and I get very depressed and turn it off because it's just propaganda.
Yeah. My neighbour went over to America to stay with his family a couple of months ago and got into a huge fight because his parents just have Fox News on the whole time, and he's like, can we please just fucking turn this off? And they're like, it's our house. He's like, I know, but come on.
Like, it was, yes, I watched it and it's like, what are you saying? Like, this makes no sense. And you're saying this is fact.
Yeah, it's not news in the way I used the word news.
No.
And the way I grew up thinking about it. Like, I used to watch, like, National 9 News, right? That was our news that we used to watch, because that's what my parents and grandparents watched, right? And there was no opinions. It was just a guy telling you what happened.
But even our newspapers and stuff, like, they are owned by different people and they are different leaning sides. But
Sure.
if you read both of them, they make it, but it's not completely different.
Yeah. Correct, yeah.
Like, it's not black
yeah.
and white if you read one to the other of the story. You sort of get an idea, yes, this is what happened. But in America, it's like, what?
Yeah.
How did you get that from that? And it's both sides. I'm not saying it's like just Fox or anything.
Oh, no. CNN do it as well, for sure. Oh, so CNN were basically crying into their hankies the day after the election. Anyway, no more Trump.
No more Trump.
I'm not talking about him again. In fact, I've got another game I played this week, but you'll have to wait till the after party.
And what's the after party?
It's a party we have after this. No, it's the second half of the show. We talk for sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes an hour. It's a gamble, but it's a gamble that pays off over time. So / multiple nerdgasm / the after party or something.
It's
there's probably a link.
Patreon.com / multiple nerdgasm, or go to multiplenerdgasm.com. There's links on there.
For the
It'll get
links,
you there.
Yeah.
And then give me money.
Yeah, give Luke money.
Yep. I'm going to go get a beer.
He's earned it. Okay.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.